Everybody, welcome. It is Thursday, January 21st, 2021, 9:13 p.m. We have Alexa, Brad, and Mewtwo hanging out with us tonight.
Hey.
Also known as Line Piece Lex, Daddy-O, and MewTwoStruckBack. We've been going on here for probably, it feels like 30 minutes, but it's probably only been 10. We are one shot in with 6 shots to go. Wait a minute. 9 shots to go.
Everything, Lex.
We've got a lot to get to, and we probably won't get to half of it, but we're going to have fun while we do it, right?
Hell yeah.
So, Before we get all official into agenda, you guys both stream tonight. How'd your streams go? While I get my shots poured.
Pretty solid. I hit level 75 double star in Mario 35, so I'm pretty well happy with that.
What star?
Just at 69?
Huh?
Weren't you like just at 69?
Tetris or Mario 35 has a far better payoff for winning than Tetris does. You know, okay, so like let's say you're in teams and you win, you're getting 1,200 points. Let's say you lose, but it was close. You're still getting about 900 to 1,000 points. So,
okay.
But in Mario, if you lose, it's based on the number of coins you have. So, if you lose, you might get anywhere between 200 on the low end to 800, 900 on the high end. Usually, if you win, you're getting at least a couple thousand on average because you get half of everyone else's coins, plus all of your coins, plus 100 coins for winning. And then if you didn't use a power-up like a little pussy to start the game, you double that. It's called the small Mario bonus.
Hey Mewtwo, can you turn up your mic a little? You can boost it in Discord.
Wait, how do I do that in Discord? Let me see.
You should be able to boost it in Discord. I can't do it though. It has to be on your end.
Yeah, give me a second.
You're good. Take your time. We're just I'm gonna mark this for.
I have input volume maxed. How do I do boost?
Oh, or maybe just move the mic closer. Or I could just turn. You know what, Lex? I'll turn yours down, Lex, and I'm gonna turn Mewtwo up.
Okay.
That should be good. You're good, Mewtwo. I'm just gonna turn mine down, and thank you for the feedback, guys. That's really helpful. All right, we should be good now. If not, let me know, and I can make adjustments on the fly. You go ahead, Mewtwo. I'll make them on my end. You keep talking. I'm gonna kind of host and drink while y'all talk.
Host and drink. Oh my god. Drink and host.
I'll swill more because I got to make up for you guys getting a bunch of subs.
Yeah, Matt is trying to get me to play Mario, and come on. I don't think I'll be good at it. So.
Did you play Mario growing up, Lex?
No, I didn't play anything growing up. I just played Tetris.
Just Tetris, huh?
And like Sims. I don't know. He really wants me. He says that he really wants me to become a partner for some reason, and he says that would help me, and I just don't think I am good enough. But then again, I only watch people like Mewtwo, who's like really good at it, and I'm like, nope.
I think you can make partner for sure. You are in the top 1% of Twitch. Did you guys know that Line Piece Lex is in the top 1% of all Twitch streamers?
What that means, yeah, it's kind of weird. But anyway, talking about something else. Mewtwo.
Okay.
Hi.
So, hello.
Thanks for joining us today. We've wanted you on since.
Oh, I've been looking forward to it. It was just a matter of when made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on vacation, so.
Oh, so you got all night?
Yeah, I've got no problem.
Oh man, Wow. Well, let's see. Well, I might be taken down by shots, but we'll see how long this goes.
I know,
me too.
Me
Man.
Oof. All right, so let's talk, man. Let's start from the beginning. That's where we usually go with these sorts of conversations. So let's talk about little baby Mewtwo. Where were you born?
I was born in Western Pennsylvania. I have pretty much lived in that same place all my life. We only moved like about a half hour from where I remember growing up from. Oh, there's a cat behind me. Give me a sec. Come here, kitty.
I was trying not to fangirl over the cat.
Kitty, 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 kitty.
You have like the best cats.
This one's a little butthole, but that's okay. She's sweet and then she's a dick. So it's really which version of cat you're getting at that particular moment.
Yeah.
Right now she's being sweet, but if you've heard of Kennywood Amusement Park, I live 5 minutes from that.
Not.
I have not heard of that either.
It is pretty much a Pittsburgh local. No, Lily, you're not stealing my cat. But no, and I have lived here since 7. So,
oh wow.
Over 30 years, or about 30 years.
Wow.
Cool. So you've been in the same house for that long?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing. That's so rare.
How about traveling? Do you travel much?
Not really. I mean, when I was a kid, we flew and or drove to Florida here and there because I've had relatives down there. Haven't seen them in forever. Trust me, no big loss. For the ones that are still left anyway. This is the only political thing I promise I will say on stream all night, and one of the relatives that I have went to the thing that happened January 6th.
Wow.
So I am in no way wanting to continue contact there. I am ending that line of conversation now. I just figured it was something to mention.
Wow.
Clear. Yeah, wow.
Outside of that, one of my best lady friends, who I will talk about later in the stream, has gotten me to travel out of my bubble a little bit. We've been in Ohio, we've been in Maryland and Virginia, but outside of that, I generally don't leave my home area.
And is there a particular reason for that, or just comfy?
I haven't really had the desire to. It's just like there's nothing really drawing me to major events. The only other thing that I'd get to is like conventions of sorts, and the thing is, the main convention that I attend happens to be 15 minutes from my house.
What convention is that?
Anthrocon.
What?
I have no idea what that is. What is that?
That is the biggest, or used to be biggest, but now second biggest furry convention in the world.
Tell me more.
Ew.
Where do we even fucking start?
I had hobbies
Let's go
as a
ahead.
kid next, but
Let's go ahead.
there.
Let's just go ahead and jump. So I do have Furry Life all the way at the end of the board, but let's just go ahead and open with that.
I did not think we were opening with this line.
Well, you did it. That's fine. But hey, do you want to go ahead and get your shot first? I'm gonna go ahead and give a shot here. This is for Smokin', for one of Smokin's 6 subs. Cheers, Smokin'.
I'm really not sure that this is something we start with. I'm gonna talk about it, but I think other things have to lead up to it first.
okay, that's fair. All right, that's fair. We won't. There you go. There's just a little bit of a what do you call that in the biz? A teaser. We call that a teaser.
Some foreshadowing.
We need more lead in.
All right, let's lead.
Let's finish the basics.
Yeah, what were you into as a kid? Like, what were your hobbies?
I was.
That escalated quickly. Okay, I gotcha.
I am not. I was pretty much, other than my parents, I was raised by Nintendo. I can fondly remember multiple summer vacations growing up where if I didn't have to go to school, I was pretty much doing, like, I was watching game shows all afternoon. Before and after that, I was playing Nintendo and Super Nintendo. And that was pretty much my life for multiple months at a time. So I got very familiar with a lot of video games early. That really wasn't when Tetris hit me. We'll get to that. That wasn't. I remember my mom took me to a massive flea market / convention center at Monroeville once. And there was a shop selling video games. And she told me I could pick out one video game for being good throughout that entire experience. And I picked Final Fantasy 3, which is Final Fantasy 6 in Japan. And it was like $85 because RPGs ran way higher. And she, at the time, was like, oh my God, I'm actually paying $85. And she did pay it. But that game pretty much took up my entire summer. So I think she got her $85 worth.
Wow.
She better have. My God.
When you have a game that you play for 100 hours, literally, or
Tetris 99.
We'll get to that too.
Yeah.
The Tetris part of the story doesn't come in yet.
Yep.
We're getting there. Okay,
Getting there.
so we have. Let me break into the Tetris part of this as hobbies. To very, very early into my childhood, I got a Game Boy and Tetris, and I screwed with it for a little bit, but it wasn't the full-on, this is part of my identity it is today.
Okay.
We later on, late middle school, early high school, when we're finally on the internet here, I discovered a little thing called Tetranet. How many of you remember that?
Nope.
I think I do.
The very first day I got this game, and of course it was free, and I went, oh my God, I can literally play Tetris against people over the computer. I was on that from the minute I downloaded it until I think 5 something in the morning. My mom comes up the stairs and tells me to go to bed. I try and waffle through it and say, oh, I just got up early. She's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go to bed. This was during summer, so it's not like I had anywhere to be. But that was the very beginning of internet Tetris for me, and it was for a lot of people.
Did you play Tetris Friends?
No, I don't use Facebook. I am one of the few people that has entirely abstained from using Facebook in any capacity.
Why?
Every time I hear somebody else refer to what's going on in Facebook, it seems like it's nothing but drama, rage, and getting pissed off at people through the internet. And I'm like, I don't need that. There are other ways that I can keep contact with people.
Fair.
Yeah, but you know what? The same could be said for any social media platform. You know, all I hear are negative things about Twitter, and I mean, really everything. So I'm not disagreeing with you. That's 100% true. And I very rarely get on Facebook either. The only reason I get on there is for friends and family. And you know, it was kind of funny. My family was just in town this weekend. Go ahead. No, and I shared a picture because everybody, we had a photo, and it's like everybody was text me. And I was like, well, I don't have everybody's phone number, but guess what? We're all friends on Facebook. So the easiest way to do it was just to tag it. And then it's nice because it comes up as a memory later and that kind of stuff. So for that aspect, it's nice, but I'm rarely on there because again, there's a little bit too much drama on there, especially around election time. So around election time, I try to stay off, but yeah.
Well, my point of contact with everybody early on was AOL Instant Messenger, MSN Messenger, and Yahoo Messenger, which I'm sure was the case for a lot of people. And then eventually there was a program called Pigeon, which let you have all of those contacts in one. And then as those contact started to shut down, people moved over to Skype. And then as Skype started to fall out of popularity, everyone moved over to Telegram, which is where everyone in my circle is now pretty much.
Telegram?
What's that?
I've never heard of that.
We don't know anything.
Telegram is basically instant messenger made by furries for furries.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
why.
Wow.
We will get to... And apparently there are Nazis using it, but they're trying to solve that problem. But I'm not going to get onto that anymore. But the main people that were using Telegram from the beginning were furries. I will get more into that when we hit the furry segment of this. We're still going through the Tetris part of this.
Right. So how did that escalate before we go to Furryland together?
Well, we'll go through Tetris first.
Okay.
Of course, there was Tetranet in middle school and early high school, but I was one of those kids that was always trying to do all my work to get it out of the way first, and then have a bunch of time to slack off and do absolutely nothing and play games. But so eventually, I managed to get another Game Boy, and then a Game Boy Pocket, and then a Game Boy Color. And when I would have free time in high school, I was the kid that always had 4 Game Boys, 4 copies of Tetris, and 2 link cables. And anytime there was a free period, we were doing nothing but playing Tetris. It was like an impromptu Tetris tournament.
The OG Tetris tournament.
This has unfortunately been lost to time. I don't know how long ago I let this document go, but throughout all of high school for all 4 years, I kept track of every single player I played Tetris against.
Oh my god.
And how many times I won and lost.
Oh my god.
I was Daddy-O before Daddy-O was Daddy-O.
Oh my
I was
god.
keeping track of this.
You were the OG Daddy-O?
I was doing Daddy-O back in 1998 when The Undertaker threw Mankind
Whoa.
off Hell in a Cell and
Well, there's a quote for the ages.
No, it was literally for that year because I got out of high school in 01, and so 97 to 01, and I was doing this during that time. So yeah, literally in 1998. So I get my Shitty Morph reference in there for the stream. So, but anyway,
oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, we had our own separate little things. Like, we knew who the Tetris original Game Boy Tetris champion. We knew who the starting on height 5 Tetris champion was. When Tetris DX came out, we had a separate thing for that. You know, like, that was... There was a... I mean, if I managed to be able to play video games on school time, I was doing it. And that didn't just pertain to Tetris. There was, and I know I told part of this story prior to stream, just as we were talking stuff out. In junior year, I was in driver theory. All that class was you get 9 weeks at your own pace to read through the first 5 chapters of a driver theory book, do the homework on it, and then after those 9 weeks, you turned in your homework and they gave you the test, which was basically a true-false test that you had to pass 60% or better, and no one in the 30-year history of the course failed it. I did all the homework in 1 week, so for the whole other 8 weeks, we would just sit there and play Tetris. But after that, we had a
during class?
Yeah.
You know what? Me too. Me too.
You too.
Me too. I had, in science class, there was a computer in there, and I would, anytime I would finish my work, a little bit early, I was able to go over there and play Tetris. And it was not an official Tetris, but it was one that capped out on the speed. So it never, once it hit a certain speed, and it was like modern Tetris, really. It was like modern Tetris back in the 90s. So it was pretty amazing because I never died, and people couldn't believe it because just like in modern Tetris, you'll never die. Like, you could play Tetris Effect forever. unless of course you go into master mode. But back in the day, that was unheard of. But
Yeah.
as you're telling these stories, Mewtwo, I'm just sitting here feeling terribly sorry for all of the pretty good Tetris players who thought they sucked because they grew up around you.
There were a couple. Actually, funny enough, there was one year where on the last day of school, I got beat out of my title. And then the very first day of the next year, I tracked that kid down and was trying to play him in Tetris to reclaim my title from day one. And it eventually happened a week or so later. But since the kids that were into that were also into wrestling, the idea of having a title that ran with you was something that everyone took pretty well to.
Mm.
But okay, so let's get past the Tetris part for just a second.
Okay.
I am in junior year. We get
Okay.
the substitute in a driver theory class because the other 9 weeks is just a study hall. I tell them I'm going to gifted class. For the first couple days, I actually go up there.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, since there's not actually a project I'm working on, it's me, my other game bag that had an N64 and multiple controllers,
Mm-hmm.
going with me and a friend that wasn't even in the gifted class, but followed me saying he was, into a room that wasn't locked, had no teachers and a TV, and me hooking my N64 to it, and us playing Super Smash Brothers on the N64. And yes, we used all the items. Screw all y'all that turn them off. That we would just go in there literally every day and play Smash Brothers on the N64 for like 30-35 minutes, pack it in, and then go to our next proper class. And I eventually had a teacher walk in on me. Other kid bolted. I went and unhooked my Nintendo, but by the time I did that, the vice principal was there. I got 2 days of detention, but you know what? It was totally worth it because I got more than a month of playing N64 on class time. No one really gave a shit. You just had to do something.
Yeah.
I had more school drama, but that's for later in the stream. But as far as that, so back to Tetris.
Okay.
Are we ready for shot number 3, Lex?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Are you really only on 3?
Well, because I'm sipping them. Because this is Mescal, and I don't want to waste it. So the first 2 were shots. But now I'm just sipping them as Mewtwo's telling us stories. It's great.
All right,
So I'm ready for number 3. Here we go.
So,
Hang on. This is for Fancy Pants.
this is me trying to get you to spit out your drink.
You know it'll work.
Hang on, I gotta pour it real
my
quick.
God, I can't believe you were like basically doing what Daddy-O does, but
Yeah.
in like 1990 version.
Yeah, so
So funny to me.
Yeah.
Tetris kind of took a back seat to other things until Tetris DS. And I kind of knew that I was on to something there because, one, if you remember Tetris DS, it had endless mode, which I managed to max out the level and the lines and score counter to all 9s. I was playing on Wi-Fi against people, and I was starting based on my player rank in that game to constantly get matched up against Japanese people, and if that's the case, then you know you're doing well.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't know what a 4-wide was then. I didn't know what I knew how to T-spin, but I did not know 4-widing. And I kind of wish I did back then because I could have murdered everyone at that fucking game. But I also appreciated that they had that 4-player mode that literally had items in Tetris. Items belong in Smash, items belong in Tetris. And, well, at least one version thereof. And God, getting the superstar in that and just being able to summon infinite line pieces for 15 seconds was goddamn amazing.
Oh my God. That's insane.
Yeah, and I kind of felt I didn't really play much Tetris after that.
No.
until Tetris 99.
Yeah. So what year did you stop? Like, when was that?
I'm gonna say 2008 because the last time I remember doing nothing but sitting there and playing Tetris, I had my hole-in-the-wall arcade job where I was basically just the person manning an arcade that pretty much nobody went to. And because I was sitting there doing nothing else, I was playing Tetris DS all the time. And that doesn't mean I never played for 10 years. That just meant that was when that wasn't something I did every day.
Yep.
Wow.
But
And then
99 came out, and how long did it take you to get your first win?
2 games.
2 games.
Yeah, the first game I went out like second or third, and I won the second, and I'm like, wait, was this supposed to be hard? And
Me
then,
too.
Yeah.
It wasn't until we started seeing the god tier Japanese players come back to that, and then like Wumbo coming into that
Right.
when Invictus first came out, if you remember that.
Yeah, I do. I was at the doctor. No, I remember. I have a story about it, but go ahead.
I really thought that was going to take me forever and ever and ever because I was only playing against people that won a game. And then like my 6th game in, I won and I screamed. I'm like, holy fucking shit, I actually won Invictus. And then I stopped being... And then I was struggling in Invictus. And I started watching other people 4-widing. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is why they have a bunch of KOs. And I started looking into the tactic. And I'm like, this is fucking easy. And then I started learning how to do it. And it took me a couple weeks to really have it down. And that's when I started being an absolute dickhead troll in Tetris 99.
An absolute dickhead troll. And quote. Oh my god.
So, and
were you already streaming by then?
I was streaming. The streaming story is going to be shorter than the Tetris story, thankfully. I didn't start streaming with Twitch. I had one friend that I had from all the way back in 2008 that he was a gaming friend of mine that I met through the internet, and I actually went and visited him in Colorado all the way back then. And he would watch me stream on Livestream Procaster. And I was comfortable with that because I knew how that software worked. But this is also when I had the internet speed of a potato. And all I could do was old school streams where it might be 7-8 seconds before I got a reply, and I was really just hoping my internet didn't die in the middle of the stream.
Fair.
But eventually our family got Comcast, which is normally Satan, but their internet is actually decent for what we need it for. And then I was able to stream properly. And one Christmas, my mom got me an Elgato HD60 because I looked into it and found out that was the best capture card. And once we had that up and running, and we had the newer internet, I was able to stream properly. And I was able to start doing retro games, which then led into Tetris. And that's where we are now.
Together.
So you've been on how long have you been on Twitch?
Barely more than a year.
Okay.
I mean, I really only started I only got affiliate during the beginning of the pandemic.
I remember. I was one of your first subscribers.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I think you do have a first badge in my channel, so yes, I remember you were there.
Cool.
You were probably one of my first subscribers, which is a pity sub, but I'll take it.
What do you mean pity sub? No way, man. You taught me a lot. You're the guys who you're the man who taught me how to 4-wide.
You're the person that's actually knowing what to do with all this Twitch shit. But anyway,
You'd be surprised.
Where do we go from here? We had a lot of other topics we hit.
Oh my god. Well, okay. There's something here that you told me to write down. It's called the empty gifted room. Is that's
what we already talked about?
Okay.
We got to talk about Pokemon.
Okay.
Let's not talk about Dave and Busters. There's a
Thank you,
whole
Nanita.
list.
You should definitely follow.
Do we go to Pokemon first, or do we go to Dave and Busters?
Pokemon.
You know what? No, yeah, Pokemon actually happened first.
Okay.
Okay, now if you go back to your old school Pokemon was literally made by somebody with Asperger's syndrome. It was the whole idea of collecting stuff, organizing stuff. Pokemon was all math back in the day, if you think about it. That fed right into every ADHD Asperger's kid's dream, and I have Asperger's syndrome, and that was something that really wasn't understood back then. So I took to Pokemon like a moth to a flame. I was on that from day one, and that was one of those things that wasn't really popular in high school back then, so I took a lot of shit for that.
Mm-hmm. And
now it's funny because you have people that are 30, 40, 50 that are playing Pokemon, so yeah, who's laughing now? But I was an outcast. I am going to tell the story I was waffling on, so that's going to be part of this. I got into Pokemon right when high school kicked off. I was in 9th grade. I did not have a favorite Pokemon yet. I did not have my obsession in my life yet. We'll get to that shortly.
Okay.
I took a lot of shit for being a Pokemon fan in high school. I was always the bullied kid in school. And then we get to a year or two later, and the first Pokemon movie comes out. MewTwoStruckBack, which if you look at my big old name on the screen is really similar to that.
There you go.
That is what really cemented my place in the Pokemon fandom. I was an outcast in high school. Mewtwo was an outcast in his life because he was created to be controlled by people. And he's just like, fuck this, and blows people up with his psychic blade. And I'm sitting there watching that wishing, man, I wish I could do that. I'm an outcast just like him.
Oh, I love that.
So I latched onto Mewtwo as a version of myself from very early on. And oh god, there's people clipping that.
Oh yeah,
you guys are clipping that. Okay, so this all kind of boils to a point because I was sick of getting bullied, and I actually got expelled. I am gonna tell that story. Fuck it. I'm drunk enough to tell that story. Well,
let's hear it. Go.
I'm gonna finish the rest of my alcohol.
Yay! Crazy stories.
Let's do it.
There's more alcohol elsewhere, but that was the rest of my mercury. So,
okay.
There were people that wrote disparaging comments towards Mewtwo on a chalkboard when I was in 11th grade AP history. And just to give you an idea, this would have me in jail now if I had done it now if I was in school. I kind of knew who the perpetrators of that were, and I pointed to 3 people and said, you got something to worry about, you got something to worry about, and you got something to worry about. If you don't stop screwing with me, I will create the next Columbine.
Oh my gosh.
That was 2nd period. By 7th period, I had been pulled out of my class. I was in a room with my parents. They told me I was suspended 10 days pending investigation. But then there was the issue of all the years of documented bullying that I had undertaken that had never been dealt with. The anti-bullying campaign of the current 2000s and 2010s had not happened yet.
Yep.
I'm going to tell a side story here very quickly. Do you know what an IEP is?
No.
An individualized education plan. That is something for a student with special needs in school to be catered to so that they can get a proper education based on certain challenges that they have, such as ADHD, Asperger's syndrome, etc. Anybody that is in special ed, whether it be for being slow or being gifted, has an IEP.
Okay. Yeah, my son was on one now that you've described it, but then we pulled him out for homeschool, so yeah.
My mother is the reason those exist. She was actually the champion of that in this state that got laws regarding IEPs
Wow.
passed.
Wow.
So if your kid isn't on an IEP, you have my mother to thank. She
God.
walked into the principal's office that did not want to help me in elementary school, slammed the fax that she got that this bill had been passed onto his desk, and told him, "You will do something now."
Wow.
What's your
She
who
was Mama Bear,
who is this again?
my mother,
And what's her name?
Georgine.
George. Thank you, Georgine.
Yes, you anybody that has ever had issues in school where they needed an IEP can thank my mother, because she is part of the reason that you are having an easier life in school. But anyway, the school realized they fucked up because of all the shit that had been reported to them that they didn't deal with. But at the same time, they had to save face, because they realized if somebody threatened to kill a bunch of kids and they didn't do anything with it, that they were going to have egg on their face from that too. So this was right before Thanksgiving. And the mutual agreement that was reached is that I would go to an alternative school until the beginning of the year and then return to my normal school as if nothing had ever happened. No one gave me shit anymore. I don't know how much money my parents had to pay for lawyers on our end to make that happen. It was probably a significant amount. I thank them for that.
Wow.
But that said, if I had to do it all again, I don't know that I would have done anything different, because going that far with what came out of my mouth was the only way to get kids off my ass. And then when I went to college, none of this mattered, because guess what? Everyone was paying to be there. And so this whole social status shit of high school doesn't matter. If you happen to be watching this and you're in middle school or high school and you have issues with people or you have bullies, none of this matters when you get out of high school. Don't ever think about taking your own life or anything of that sort. It all gets better. It literally all gets better. None of that matters when you get out of the realm of people where you don't have to worry about what they think of you, and that all fucking goes away once you're out of high school. But anyway, the Mewtwo thing didn't stop there. Let's get back to the positive part of this story. MewTwoStrikes although it is my identity on Twitch, it is my username. It is my username in multiple places. It was a flawed movie because 4 kids fucked the hell out of it. They censored the shit out of it. And a lot of things from the original Japanese movie that touched on some really deep topics kind of got pushed to the wayside, and Mewtwo was pretty much looked at as Frankenstein's monster, and that was it. Mewtwo Returns came out in 2001, which was the first year I was in college. And that movie fixed pretty much all of the characterization problems that he had. And that was a defining moment for the Mewtwo fandom. And trust me, he had his own fandom. I was part of that for many, many, many years and still am. And I've met many people that are very near and dear to me in my life through that fandom, some of which I can talk on here and some of which I can't, but we'll leave it at that for now. That might be another stream. That might be something else tackled somewhere else. But as it is, the Mewtwo community was very tight-knit. And yeah, I think this is the point where we just go through the whole Mewtwo thing right now, because I'm on a roll on this.
Go for it. You're doing great.
Please.
Mewtwo. A game that I have absolutely zero or very little respect for the competitive community of, but absolutely full-on respect the impact in gaming culture that it had. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Mewtwo was in that. That was big back then. He wasn't very good in that game as a character, but that really didn't matter. the fact that he was in there, like, holy shit, Nintendo is recognizing Mewtwo as one of the biggest things to happen in all of their gaming history. But from there really wasn't a lot of Mewtwo-centric stuff happening. The community kept it going. We fucking kept this going, and that's why Mewtwo is still out there and revered to this day, which we'll get to. But the Mewtwo community did its own artwork, it did its own fanfiction, it's made its own connections with one another from that day in 2001 when Mewtwo Returns came out, and that year when Melee was out, and everything of that sort, until we get to something I refer to as the Dark Ages. We're going to go to a very dark day in Nintendo history. January 31st, 2008. The Nintendo Wii is the new system. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is coming out. There is very much speculation upon the roster. You guys know where the fuck I'm going on this because I see you both.
I promise you. I promise you. I have no idea where you're going with this.
You tend to side conversate. We never know.
No, you're doing great. Keep going.
We never know.
I promise you, I have no idea where you're going. You assume too much.
It was at this point that we found out on my mother's birthday at the end of January that Mewtwo had been cut from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. He was not going to be on the roster. This was pretty much a kick in the dick to our entire fandom. And at this point, we're like, Mewtwo is one of the most celebrated Pokemon out there. He has this many fans. He has this much impact. He has multiple movies. What the hell, Nintendo? And it created a lot of drama. This started a bunch of internet infighting. There were friendships that were severed over this. There were people, you're not taking this serious enough. You're not taking this too seriously. You know what? I'm not going to deal with you anymore. That was a thing. There's one particular person that was being particularly petty on the other end of this, and petty is a hint if you happen to know me, and that's something that I promise I will talk about on another stream another day. That
we need an episode 2.
Yeah, there's going to be an episode 2.
Anyway, as long as you're aware, then I'm good.
At that point, as much as people joke about boycotting, I stopped buying Nintendo stuff at this point. I did not buy any more games for the Wii. I might have got stuff as prizes from Dave & Busters because those things had already been purchased, and me buying one didn't give Nintendo any additional money. But my existence for the next so many years at this point became, I'm going to commission artists to do a bunch of stuff pro Mewtwo. I am going to be the rabid fanboy that fights against the people that demean him. I remember me finding myself as a person was dependent on Mewtwo back in 98 and 99.
Wow.
So, as I just said a bit ago. So even if none of those people knew me personally, I took this personally. And we get to 2014. The Nintendo Wii and 3DS are the newest systems.
Right.
Smash Brothers 3DS comes out. There's no Mewtwo, so I don't buy it. And then we get to October 23rd, 2014.
The dates?
I remember those dates down to the day, yes. 6 years, 8 months, and 23 days.
Amazing.
After Super Smash Bros. Brawl had been released and its roster had been announced. And there is something going on called the Super Smash Bros. 50 Fact Extravaganza. And I figure there's nothing in this for me. Nintendo's already made their point. We are old news. Fuck them. I'm not dealing with this. And I really wish I hadn't done that in hindsight, because I get a call about 4 p.m.
Oh my God.
One of my best friends dude, Mewtwo's in Smash. I'm like, what? No, seriously, they just announced that he's downloadable content. I start doing nothing but pulling this up on my phone, and looks like I got you guys a bunch of subs.
Keep going. We got it. Keep going with the story. We got it.
And it was true. They had announced that the literal last thing in their thing announced promoting Super Smash Brothers for Wii U, that Mewtwo was going to be on the roster coming out later. And I'm like, my God, every single thing I have ever done on the internet in defense of Mewtwo has been justified just now. Our fandom means something. We have proven we belong in the living video game hall of fame that is Super Smash Brothers. That is what that game is. I don't give a shit about the competitive portion of it. The whole point I'm trying to make here about Smash Brothers is that if you are in Smash, whether you are a Nintendo character or not, you have proven that you are significant enough to the world of gaming that gaming would be worse off if you didn't exist. And being acknowledged as the first downloadable content character was pretty much Nintendo directly acknowledging everything that my little fan community and everything that's grown from it back from 1999. So we are 15 years later, and that I'm like, vindication.
Jesus, oh my gosh, he is a pro.
My God.
At that point, 6 years of infighting with everyone just kind of fell away. And at that point, I'm like, I have nothing to prove to anyone anymore. This has been what I was trying to prove. I have drank one bottle of Dom Perignon in my life. I bought that bottle within 24 hours of that announcement and saved it for the day that he was launched, April 15 for the early adopters. Within 24 hours of that announcement, I went down to Dave & Busters, cashed out tickets for a Wii U, went to GameStop the next morning, bought a 3DS, a bunch of other games, bought Smash 3DS and pre-reserved Smash Wii U that day. Because I'm like, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I hadn't bought shit from Nintendo for years. They did right by me. I'm doing right by them. I will defend them to the ends of the earth because of this point.
Okay, you were foreshadowing there, by the way, when you said, so I took out my Dave & Busters points.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay, you're foreshadowing.
The Buster stories. I mean, I'm wearing the goddamn sweatshirt, but that we'll get to that. Right. Let me finish out the Mewtwo story.
Go.
Because we're near the end of it.
Okay.
So we popped the bottle of Dom Perignon the day that he came out. I played as him pretty much that entire day. And at that point, while I've bought metric shitloads of Mewtwo merch over the years, it kind of fell off that day because the whole reason of me trying to have the #1 Mewtwo merchandise collection out there was to prove to Nintendo that we were worth acknowledging in the world of Smash. And then it happened. I have nothing left to prove. But we will get to the Dave & Busters thing. We will get to the Furry thing because that all ties in. But
you have a story and a half, man.
We will need a second episode.
We are going to need a second episode.
We're only okay. Surface.
Let's rewind a bit. We'll come back to Mewtwo as it is, but I got all the important parts out. At least the things that I'm going to cover in episode 1.
Yeah.
Dave
okay.
& Busters.
Dave, that is next on the list.
I was always an arcade rat, even before that place was around here. My grandfather, back before, he was ill and back before he was really not making the connection with our family anymore, that kind of tied in with that. It was sad, but that's not something I'm going to get into in the stream, but I'm going to mention it because I feel like I was wrong to not mention it. Back when I was in middle school, he took me to an arcade up at a mall that has since closed down, Century 3 Mall, for anyone that's in that area, that we went there every week. I played pinball, I played arcade games, I played ticket games. I got to know all that shit. And that continued on throughout high school and Kennywood Amusement Park, who their arcade section can go fuck themselves.
But how do you really feel? Wait, why is that?
Okay, let's get into that before I get into Busters, because you know what? That's fucking relevant.
Let's go.
There is a game they had called Spin Doctor. It cost $0.25. It was called it was a skill stop slot machine. Just imagine there was a reel going around it had values on it, 1,000, 8,000, 3,000, 7,000, 2,000, and there was a half size slot for 10,000. But it was skill. If you hit 3 10,000s, you won the jackpot. The jackpot was 200 tickets. I was about 50% on getting the jackpot on every play. I put $20 into this game and got 9,000 tickets, which was enough for a blender, which of course cost more than $20. I left there for a bit to go count the tickets to make sure they didn't have to do it. By the time I came back, somebody went and lowered the jackpot payout from 200 to 50. I said, what's up with this? They said, that's what it was always supposed to be. I'm like, that's bullshit. Then how come the second place prize is 50 and the first place prize is 50? So I called them out on it from that day. And from that day, for many years, I did not go back to Kennywood Amusement Park. But it just so happened a few months after, down 12 minutes from my house, there happened to be a place called Dave & Busters that opened up. It was an arcade/bar/food place that many of you may know.
Oh yeah,
happens
very well.
That they had many of the same games as Kennywood, but their payouts were a hell of a lot better. They didn't sweat the money like Kennywood did. And from there on, I was pretty much loyal to Dave & Busters from 2000 up till this day. I've been going there for 20 years. But that's not the beginning. That's not the end of the Dave & Buster's story. This is only the fucking beginning.
Well, before we do that, because
okay.
I wanted to catch you in between your stories real quick. Let's take a quick break here to thank Walt Walterson for those 5 gifted subs, and I think those were credit to you, Mewtwo. He said that you were the hero that we deserve. So I think you have a lot to say. Obviously, you have a lot to say, but I think you have a lot of great things to say. Let me just say that. So thanks for being our guest, Mewtwo. And let's take a shot. You down? You ready? You ready for a shot?
Yeah,
down.
Give me a shit. Give me a second. I need to get more alcohol going.
So what we've got here is I have got Fancy Pants. I owe Fancy Pants. We owed total. This is our on the left side. Fancy our who we owe is Fancy Pants 3, Smoking 6, Walt Walterson 5.
We're gonna die.
I've checked off the box here. 2 for Fancy, 1 for Smoking. I feel like we did a 4th. Who's?
I know I did.
Okay, that 4th was for Fancy. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that Fancy is done. I'm done with Fancy. Now I still owe Smoking 5 shots, and now we owe Walt Walterson 5 shots. Let's go to this next one. Is gonna go out to Walt Walterson.
You're gonna die.
I know.
We're not doing them all today, right?
Hey, we're all gonna die. No, we're not going to do them all today.
Yeah.
But I will go ahead and get as many done as we can, and then we'll just pay the rest out. We'll just owe them. So let me get this one poured real quick. This is to Walt Walterson. Thank you so much. We are doing 1 shot credit per gifted sub tonight only. After this, we'll have a channel point redemption, which I think this is going to end up being the cheaper way to go. Cheers to Mewtwo and to Walt Walterson. Thank you.
Y'all are amazing.
Boom. All right. Now let's get to your Dave & Busters.
Mm-hmm.
The Dave & Busters saga is something that I could literally cover.
Well, because we used to do Tetris After Dark, the 3 of us, and I feel like every single time we would go on, there was at least 45 minutes of a Dave & Buster's story. And I'd always be like, what the hell?
I'm gonna pitch this as an idea right now because I'm drunk enough to think this is a good idea.
Great. If I had $1, let's go.
Okay. Daddy-O runs a 20,000 bit cumulative goal on his channel. People donate him 20,000 bits.
Go on. I'm listening.
Which he splits 50-50 with me after the fact. And we do a stream that is nothing but me giving away every secret on how to win anything at Dave & Busters. I'm only mentioning that because I did 2 Ask Me Anythings on Reddit for this, for the good of the community, where I didn't get shit, and there were people that literally ripped my guide and sold it on eBay as their own, and I'm like, I should be getting something out of this fucking bullshit. But anyway, I'm gonna give the basics of this.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I can't think of a reason not to.
So this starts from
Hey, Sparse, how you doing?
And this is back when you needed to have somebody that was over 21 with you to get in the bill. My grandfather was that person early on. And there were certain games that I would play where I'd go and hit this one game and it'd be paying 500 tickets. And they had another row of 4 this other game that paid 250 tickets on a jackpot, and I'd go jackpot, and have 5 games paying out tickets at the same time. I was the first person at our location in Pittsburgh that showed up with a voucher worth over 100,000 tickets.
Oh my gosh.
And
wow.
It took a little while, but I was coming out even or ahead way back in the day. And at the time, I started getting like PSPs and trading those to people for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which is an entire separate story that we're going to get into in this stream.
Not this stream. We're gonna run over. It's okay. We're gonna have to cut some of these topics, but that's okay. Keep going.
We're gonna shelve that for a minute. Dunsparce, I see you in the chat. For the record, hey Dunsparce,
although we might do it.
That is somebody that actually goes to Dave & Busters with me and has seen my ticket total. And Dave
allowed to know your ticket total?
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay, cool.
So Dave & Busters. So I'm there running through and getting video games and consoles and a lot of other stuff. And I literally paid off the last of my student loans with selling Pac-Man tabletop arcade machines that I had tickets for at Dave & Busters. I got $4,000 by cashing out my power card at that point, paid off the last of my loans, and that was how I got through that. But there were many games in there that you could just sit there and hammer if you knew what you were doing, and they were cool with it because they were making money hand over fist everywhere else throughout that place. And we get into 2008, and I started into my current line of work. And they started at Dave & Busters running something called Half Price Games Wednesday, which might be a promotion that some of you are familiar with. Dave & Busters having games at half price, especially games that you could just sit there and hammer, would literally mean that you could turn over 100,000 tickets in one day and be profitable at it. And I don't just mean, making a few dollars. I mean making more than you do at work. There was a game back in the day, and this is going to be a subject that I get into more in depth for stream number 2 if we eventually set up a channel subscription bit goal where I get hooked up with this. There was a game that I was literally making $70 an hour on for about 7 months.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. What? Tell me that one more time. You caught my attention?
There was a game that I was making $70 an hour playing. I was making more than the general manager of that Dave & Busters location for 7 months until corporate told them they had to. They actually got the software of that game revised to prevent us from winning literally every single time. But I tip my hat to them because they didn't have to leave it that way for 7 months. But they gave me that much time where I got 5.6 million tickets in 7 months. And I got a shitload of money out of that. And I blew it all gambling. So don't be
okay, wait.
me and gamble all the time.
But okay, wait. How is so? Can you go into Dave and Buster's and make it worth actual currency, or do you have to buy the shit in the place?
You have to get prizes out of the winner circle, but
Right.
there are certain prizes that when they have became or generally always worth it. Back in the day, a PSP was 40,000 tickets, and you could sell it for $200. After that, iPod Touches were 46,000 tickets. You could sell them for like $270. Nintendo Wii's were in there for roughly, I think, 75,000 tickets. Those were $300. The Wii U was the golden age, 75,000 tickets, $300, and we were doing that for years. And then it got a little harder recently, but all of us are just sitting waiting on the PS5 to come out. I am literally sitting on, should I do it on stream? Should I go over my ticket total?
Are you asking me if yeah? The answer is always true. Hold on.
Okay.
I can't even get a fucking pixie stick.
Let me find my phone.
I get a
here.
nerd's rope
One
every time
Oh
I
wait,
go to Dave
there's
and
my
Buster's.
phone. Never mind.
Okay. Oh my god. Gotta.
Let
Oh my
me go
God.
ahead and.
That's insane. Are there more people like you, Mewtwo? Are there others out there?
Absolutely, I run a whole fucking community for this on Reddit that has over 8,000 subscribers.
What?
8
Who? Who is this guy?
Let me go ahead and get a calculator up here, and I'm gonna look at my tickets here.
I don't understand. How do you know your ticket? Is there like an app? Or are you
yeah,
keeping track?
I have an app. This is just the first of my cards.
Oh my god, literally the cards. Oh
Wait a minute.
my
Show me that
god.
again. What was it?
It has like the actual cards on an app.
Yeah, they let you keep your cards in an app now. Give me a second. I'm checking how many tickets.
It's insane. I'm coming over and we are doing this together. I need to learn. I want to quit my job. So
No,
Mewtwo,
you're not. There's not enough here to quit your job. This is supplemental income.
I could use supplemental income. Yeah.
But you actually have to be good at shit. So
Oh no, I'm not that.
my current ticket holdings at Dave and Buster's are 1,051,448.
What? 1 million?
Yeah, I'm over a mil right now. There was a point where I was over 1.2, and I was over 1.2 before the pandemic when I thought we were gonna shut that shit down.
Yeah, what does that equate to in dollar bills, y'all?
Anywhere between $3,000 and $6,000, depending on when prices you cash out for.
Nice. Impressive.
So let me go ahead. So let's talk this out. In 2008, they started half price games Wednesday. In 2011, I had the game where you stacked up blocks called Tippin' Blocks that I was generating 200,000 tickets a week for. 6 or 7 months after that, they changed that game, but there were many other sources. Now, I understand that they can't leave a game that hemorrhages money at every location on the floor. I've kind of found my niche here and there, but I'm getting mine. I may have to spread it over multiple games. It may be harder than it used to be. It may take longer than it used to be, but I'm still making more an hour at Dave & Buster's playing games and cashing out for prizes than I am at work.
Whoa!
That is a thing.
Oh
Wow.
my
Impressive.
god.
So there are so many Dave & Buster's stories that I have, and it's going to be more than this stream. This is something that I want to be a bit goal. This is something that I want to be a subscriber goal. I will wholly admit I want a cut of this, but this is a story that if your community wants it bad enough, they can fund it, and I think they will. Given
it should be on here. It should be a tell me. It should be on here. It should be on this channel, not on mine. This should be a tell me more thing. It should be a tell me more about Dave and Busters.
Tell me more thing, but you're hooking me up for it.
I know. I'm just saying it should be on this channel, not the other one. What's a breath
I know this is going to be a tell me more. So
I do have I just remembered I have a breathalyzer. So you blow into it and it tells you if you're like legally allowed to drive or not.
Yeah, mine's in my car. I have one of those too.
My dad got me one for Christmas. I've never, there's no particular reason I have it, but I just remember I have one. It could be interesting to blow into it and see what it says. Anyway, what's the next subject?
That'll be the end of the stream. We'll all do breathalyzer.
Oh yeah, we have you writing for the magazine.
Oh, we're taking that aspect, but I need to hit the Yu-Gi-Oh part.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. I wasn't rushing you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Remember, I got into Mewtwo back in 98, 99. That led me to start buying cards for the Pokemon trading card game. But I was no good at it starting off. And I started trying to copy decks that I found off the internet for a while. But unfortunately, the decks that I was copying weren't very good. Until I happened to run into a deck that was centered around the Mewtwo card that was given out with the first movie. And that suddenly made all of the basic concepts on how you win in a trading card game click into my head. And I played competitive Pokemon for a couple years, but that kind of died off. And when that died off, competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Kicked on. And the same group that I dealt with for competitive Pokemon helped me figure out what to do with competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!, which was relatively simple at the time. And it just so happened that the people that I played competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! With were willing to get me large quantities of cheap cards in exchange for prizes that I was winning from Dave and Busters. And so that's how that all ties in. I found somebody, when I had a shoebox full of old crap cards, I had somebody buy them from me on eBay and then asked me if I had more. And then they told me their quoted prices, and I realized I could get the shit locally at a third of that price, and that I could trade electronics and games that I was winning from Dave and Busters at pennies on the dollar to those people that would give me these shoe boxes full of shitty cards that I didn't care that they were shitty because they were going at 3-1 on what I was paying for them. And then that I started getting super competitive into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I went to nationals a couple times. I didn't do very well, but I didn't give a shit because the game was still making me money. I went to a shitload of regional tournaments, which I made more trading cards at than anything else. But it was just a fun thing to get into, and I knew the game well enough. It just so happened, and good lord, it's been a decade plus since I've been on this site. There used to be a site called allexperts.com where you could volunteer to be an expert on a particular topic. And I helped people out with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! On that.
Of course you did. You're the best helper there is.
And then I had a guy message me on there called Doug Kale, who was a head editor at Beckett Media. And he said, I'm interested in hiring you to write for us. And my mom looked this guy up, and he was legit. And I was getting paid $150 an article and $300 for the feature articles. So I was making like anywhere close to $1,000 an issue for all the shit that I was writing for them.
Oh my god.
And all I was doing was like, okay, these are rulings and how they work. This is a deck that's competitive in the current format and how it works.
Amazing.
The current list that's going to be updated of forbidden and limited cards and why that's relevant to you. This is somebody that wrote in with a deck, and this is how to make that deck better, because the game was simple and anybody could do what I did, but I just so happened to have a reputation on All Experts that led into this guy looking me up.
I love it. I love it.
I will, in episode 2, and this is going to be a teaser. Okay. All right. 50.
The director of your own show.
Okay. 50,000 bits, Daddy-O gets half, I get half. If they're donated to this channel or Daddy-O's channel, I will tell the story of how I hid a hidden pornographic link in a Beckett article over 10 years ago.
The list.
That is your goal, chat. Donate 50,000 bits or $500 to Daddy-O. He keeps 250. I get 250. And if he does, if this happens, I will show the evidence to the chat with proof from the original issue of how I hid a dirty Pokemon porn website in an article of Beckett for laughs.
Wow.
That is your challenge, chat. But yeah, I wrote for Beckett for about 10 years for both Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. They relied on me to fill pretty much all of those pages for their article because their guy decided to move on to other things. And eventually Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon fell out of favor for other things, and that just kind of died off. But I was really happy with the decade run that I had.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so yes, there is literally a hidden code in an article of a Beckett magazine.
Let's do it.
To a Pokemon website that served dirty material that is no longer out there but was back in the day. If you manage to get 50,000 bits in donations, I will tell the story on stream in a future episode.
You are the best guest we've ever had.
Look at you. What a prophet you are. We should keep you around, man.
I don't want to offend anybody who's already been a guest, but no, you're a great guest. Like, you bring all this content. You have, like, we don't have to do anything. Lex and I can just sit back and have shots, and you just tell stories, and we're just like hanging out. This is the best. And you're like, yeah, give them money. I'll tell you stuff. Come back.
Let's see, we did the Pokemon thing, we did the Mewtwo thing, we did the Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing. Let's get into the furry thing.
Yeah, man. You're just telling you're just like you're just your own host. I love it.
I was waiting for you. I don't know. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, y'all ain't got to do shit.
Because well, one day at random during like Tetris After Dark, we didn't know shit about you.
Hold on, another shot? Is this a transition? Is this another shot? This is another shot.
All right, I'll have another shot. But like literally in Tetris After Dark, like we didn't know. We just knew you were a really good player.
Yeah, we don't know
nothing
about
day
you.
Like, and yes, in my furry community, and I remember me and Brad were both like,
if somebody in here commits to subscribing like 5 gift subs to my channel before the end of the week, I'll do more shots and tell the whole furry story right now. Come on, somebody do it.
Somebody do it.
Fucking do it.
I'll do it. I'll give you 5 gift subs. Or I'll transfer any subs that are here to the channel.
Okay.
Here we go.
oh my goodness.
Let's see what is going to need to... We had an over-under on how many children you would make cry during this episode.
I said that number, so many.
Well, Lillian's number, which I think is a good one, is 1. Yeah. I think that's a good one. So this is going to be it. This is going to be the one. Is it going to be over or under? Because I don't think you've told any story. Well, you know what? You might have made me cry earlier with your sweet stories. Now we get to hear the other side of Mewtwo. Has everybody done the shot already? Am I just the only one who hasn't done it?
I'm waiting for you.
Okay, here we go. 3.
I already did the shot.
Jesus Christ. 3, 2, 1. Shots.
Back in the day, and this is going to show my age on furry for anyone that was out there in that time. When I was in high school, I found a website called the Vixen Controlled Library, or VCL. That was my introduction into furry. And there happened to be a couple of artists that drew Pokemon in Mewtwo art that I got into way back in the day, and I still have contact with those people here and then. And that carried over into the Mewtwo part, and that carried over into many of the people that are still near and dear to me in the Mewtwo fan community. And then we're going to fast forward 2010 when I had my friend from the United Kingdom, Boris, come over here, and we went to a number of furry conventions, namely Anthrocon, which is a Pittsburgh-based furry convention that at the time was the largest furry convention in the world. They got bumped down to number 2, but they're still way up there as far as relevance in the furry communities.
Okay.
And a few years later, Boris made me a fursuit of my character. I had a Mewtwo character at that point and still do. It is the character that you see in my little icon. Give me 1 second and I'm going to show you something.
We're getting a show and tell. Oh God. I don't know if it's late enough for this part.
Oh my gosh.
There she is. There
Nice.
she is. Dad.
Love
Where
it.
am I? Oh my God.
Amazing.
I have a full costume of this character.
Yeah. I've seen a
And
picture.
You
sent me.
might have seen it on my YouTube.
Yeah.
This was scaled up from a plush that was made exactly like this. He's posable.
He's
Amazing.
I mean,
powerful.
like
This
his
is
tail
incredible.
moves around. This is me in Pokemon form.
Oh,
Angelica asked how much was that?
He did it for me out of the goodness of his heart.
oh my
For-
god.
I
Give
love
me a
that.
second. I'm gonna type something in the chat there.
I'm seeing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. There's really 6 of you here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
You're drunk. Okay, yeah.
Well,
So
Wait a minute,
but
but
the
now there's
thing
8
is-
of you.
I went to Anthrocon in this costume for many, many years and still will. The pandemic suspended it for last year, but that is who I am. That is the version of me that I put out there. It is my icon on Twitch. It is my icon on Twitter. It is my icon on Fur Affinity. Poor you if you've ever seen any of my work on Fur Affinity, because none of you should be subjected to that. But if you're dirty, perverted furries, you might have seen it, and poor you if you have. But the Mewtwo thing and celebration of our fandom as far as Smash Brothers goes, as I talked earlier, ties into the Mewtwo community, ties into the furry community, ties into everything. That is like the celebration of we fucking did it. We showed our place in this world. And if you are a Pokemon fan, you have seen how much shit is out there celebrating Mewtwo. The events that he gets in Pokemon Go, Pokemon Masters, Pokemon the Pokemon trading card game still had cards to this day that are relevant in competitive Pokemon trading card game things that have won a world championships. Mewtwo has won a fucking world championship. That is like, I'm like, good award. We have justified our place in the fandom years ago, and the hits just don't stop coming.
Wow.
The I don't really know exactly where I'm going, except the furry community has just generally been great all along, which ties into the Mewtwo fans, which ties into the Dave and Busters content. I have been to Dave and Busters in my Mewtwo fursuit, and with their permission, and have won jackpots on their games in full fursuit. Which, if you check my YouTube, and my username on YouTube is the exact same as you see on this screen, if you look through my old content, you'll find it. I have 3 different games that I won jackpots on in fursuit on film.
Am I the only one reacting like I'm reacting? I would kill to see that.
It's there. You can go
I
and
know.
watch it after the stream. I don't give a shit.
I've been to his YouTube channel. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. Because again, I just saw him as a guy who was good at Tetris, and then I was like, what the hell? This guy is huge.
I'm going to throw 2 words out at you.
Okay.
Weaponized autism.
Yep.
I have Asperger's, which is a form of autism, which means I look at shit with a full-on analytical math mindset, which is how I go into arcades. Can I profit from this? Which is how I look into card games. Can I come out ahead from this? That kind of shit is there's downsides to Asperger's and ADHD and autism and everything else, and there's upsides. The mathematical focus is an upside.
Yeah.
The Dave and Busters thing ties into that. The Yu-Gi-Oh thing at times has tied into that.
You have over 2,000 subscribers, my dude.
On
Look
YouTube,
at you.
but the thing is, people don't pay for that on YouTube. That's different.
Right.
I literally don't monetize my YouTube for a couple of reasons. And the arcade community is tough to make a living at, and I'm going to talk about that for a bit here. If you try and make money consistently as a YouTuber doing arcade games, you are eventually going to have to sell out. There is a guy that I'm friends with called Arcade Matt, and I mean literally zero disrespect towards this guy. He has about 1.8 mil subscribers or somewhere around that range.
Wow.
The thing is, in order to make it as an arcade YouTuber, you need to continue making new content. There's only so many times you can play the same game over and over and have it be interesting.
Right.
There's only so many games that you can come out ahead on, which means you're eventually going to have to play games that aren't profitable, pretend to be excited about them, even when you're not winning, to continue to create new content, to draw in people watching your video, to get ad revenue, to make a profit. And unfortunately, that's just the way the world works. And I get that, and I don't mean it. Again, I don't mean any ill will toward Matt. He's a good guy. That's just his revenue. That's just his angle. I only put up videos on YouTube of me playing games that make money, but I don't want to put in for games that I don't want to have to censor out music, censor out noises, etc. in the background as far as ad revenue goes, to have other people claim my channel. You guys know what that is on Twitch, because you guys are actually doing something with your channel coming out ahead.
Right.
I'm really not. I haven't got my first payment from Twitch yet, and I'm not in it for that. I hope to be someday.
Yeah,
but
you're good enough. Jesus.
The thing is, I don't have the back end stuff that Daddy-O does. And I don't think I wouldn't do it on my own, because I don't think it's worth the time I'd have to put in it on my own, and all of the changes I'd have to make on my own for that. And I respect the people that take the arcade path that Matt has taken, but it's just a matter of, I'm not chasing the revenue in the same way he is, and I can't force myself to play games that don't put you out ahead to pretend that they're good to make revenue.
Could you make the same argument for Twitch? It's like you could think about, like, different streamers who, have to branch out and play different games that they don't necessarily want to because they need the numbers. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that are, that is really a situation in which somebody is trying to get partner for the first time. Because here's the bitch of it for Twitch. If you meet the requirements for affiliate, they automatically grant you affiliate. If you meet the requirements for partner, they expect you to write a fucking essay on what Twitch is to you, on why you deserve to be partner. Mr. 9 Live should have been fucking partner, even if he can't T-spin to save his life. There, I figured that would get a laugh.
Only from me.
If Mr. Nine Lives should have been partner ages ago. He met the requirements. He streamed for more than 25 hours in a month.
And he wrote the essay.
He wrote the essay. He had more than 75 viewers. He had everything. And then they waited for him to dip down to 74 and they said, oh, just try again another time. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you do have to, as you're getting started, make concessions on what you play and what you do to get there long enough to make partner. And once they've accepted you as partner, you can do whatever the hell you're gonna do after that, because they don't take it away right away if you fall under 75.
Yeah.
So it is a similar argument. I can either be myself and not make money on YouTube and not worry about that and hope that my content is good enough on Twitch and hope that my play is impressive enough on Twitch, or I can just fucking sell out and try and make money on YouTube. And I don't want to sell out on YouTube, so I've taken the path that I have. I have full-on respect for the people that do it on YouTube.
Well, I could give you just a little bit of advice because I think you do a great job. I've never met anyone that's more genuinely helpful than you.
Okay.
And like it's a great way. It's in a great way. I think you should make more instructional videos like you did, because the 20-minute video that you made.
Or is this a stalling video?
Yeah. It wasn't. You put nothing into it, and yet like people talk about it a lot. And I think about that. You know how long I've put off making a video because it's like I don't have the time to put into writing a script, to doing it this way. But you just said, let me just record myself playing a game and talking about it, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is the most helpful thing ever. And I agree. I think we could all learn from that and just be like, let me just, as I'm playing, let me just sit back and say, cut. Okay, I'm starting now. 5 minutes, go. And let me just talk about this. I'm going to just cut it and post it on YouTube, and people would eat it up. You should do more of that. Penis. Thank you for, yeah. But anyway, I think that you should do more of that. Yeah. And we'll go ahead and clip that for you.
I just wanted to crack everyone up.
Yeah.
Oh,
because I think that you have a lot to share with people, and you should just make content and share it.
I think every time I'm in this channel, I'm just going to have that piece of paper ready.
You should.
Next time we should have a banner behind you. Just like, drop it down. Yeah. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Oh, God, that's what she said. But anyway, I've been...
Okay, so...
Uh-huh.
In all seriousness, you kind of got idea what I am. I'm an unrepentant dirty furry that if somebody looks me up on Fur Affinity, they'll find out things about me that they really didn't want to know, but they might get a chuckle out of along the way and go, oh, really? That's what that guy's about. I am an absolute Tetris troll, which I love. I am a troll in the furry aspect, but not in a bad way. Everyone kind of knows what I can do as far as Dave & Busters. I run the Dave & Busters subreddit. The Dave & Busters Twitter people that run their social media know I'm an unrepentant furry. The community, the managers of all the Dave & Busters I've attended know I'm an unrepentant furry. That... I'm out there, and the whole thing was all the way back in the beginning of college, after we got past the part where I got expelled from high school, is I basically just said to myself, I'm going to be out there for what I am, and I don't give a shit, because the people that want to be part of my life are still going to respect that regardless of what I have out there. And the people that aren't, they can just go fuck off, and I don't care what their opinions were anyway.
Hell yeah.
Daddy, what else did you have on your board back there? Just in case I missed anything. I still want to go because I'm drunk enough to not give a shit.
We should wrap it up. So let's pick one topic out of the remaining ones here. And they are...
We got liquor store.
Mario 35, and Asperger's. Pick one topic.
We've already went over the Asperger's stuff. And the liquor store stuff isn't that interesting.
What about... Because we put like Dave and Buster's / your opinion on like actual gambling.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Either give us a gambling horror story or talk about Mario 35.
I can cover all of that without you guys having to really go over.
All right, go.
Okay.
The liquor store isn't super interesting. I started into the part-time liquor store system in 2008. I got full-time in 2013. The higher-ups were drunk / stupid enough to let me continue to be a assistant manager and then general manager from a couple years after that. I'm good at what I do, but I'm a dickhead, and I know that, but they're cool with that because I run my store. That's all you really need to know. And that's the only reason I know shit about liquor that we're going to be drinking on stream from here on in the future, which is going to be commented on Daddy-O's Espolon bottle at the very beginning of this stream. As far as the gambling thing, I am pretty much a living, breathing, walking, talking billboard on why you don't go overkill in gambling. If I hadn't gone overkill in gambling from 2000 on to 2015, I'd probably have more than $100,000 to $150,000 more than I do right now. It is depressing a little bit. Dave and Buster's lets me get out those gambling urges in a way where I'm coming out ahead rather than the house. The house almost always wins except for card counters and blackjack. And I don't think any casino should be allowed to discriminate against card counters and blackjack, but that's beside the point of the stream. Dave and Buster's generally will let the occasional skilled player come out ahead, and that is how it should be. If they're making money off 99.9% of the people that walk in their door, and 0.1 to 0.01% of those people are coming out ahead, they need to let that go. Dave and Buster's gets that right. Main Event gets that wrong. They can go fuck themselves. 28 gets that wrong. They can really go fuck themselves because they changed the payout on the game before I even left the property. And Scene 75 gets that wrong for the damn near the same reasons. Just trust me, I've gambled a lot in my life. I regret a lot of it. Daddy-O sees what I do with channel points in his channel, and that's dangerous enough as it is. I get the sweats when I'm gambling what's worth $5 or $10 worth of points in his channel, whereas I've literally bet several $100s on one hand of blackjack and not thought about it until after the fact, after I lost. And then I'm going to the fucking financing office to go get, like a cash advance loan. Don't be me as far as gambling. I'm just giving that as a warning right the hell now.
Well, you know what? I cannot wait to get to Vegas with you. Because what we're going to do, I know you're not going to be able to make it this trip. So for those of you who don't know, Lex and I are going to Vegas in less than 2 weeks. It's not just Lex and I. It's Lex, Chaos, a whole bunch of us. There's a whole bunch of us. There's about at least probably 10 of us.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. So I can't wait to get there with you because what I want to do is I want to have one night of Daddy-O / dude time, in which all we do is party it up like I do, in which we go to the cheapest table possible, and our only goal is to get as many free drinks as possible and play as long as we can on $100. And then the next night, I want you to show me how to do it Mewtwo style and actually make some money.
If your community gets together and donate whatever the hell they want to donate and wants to pay off everything that I've ever owed to anybody, which would come to about 5 million bits if you want to do the math on that, and then have it to where I don't have to worry about whatever the hell I put on the table because you guys have already paid it back from those bit donations, then great. But other than that, I need to be reasonable because I've seen how bad it can get and I'm currently still dealing with it. So anyway.
Well, what I'm thinking is that we do not. I don't want to put it on the community, but I will put it on. There's enough people who are part of the show, aka Aaron / Cinder and me, that I think we can cover it. We can just be like, okay, this is a show. This is a business expense, and if it goes south, then we'll just write it off.
Are we talking about like where you guys raise maybe a couple $1,000 and I go to Vegas with you guys and I'm bankrolling off that money, and if I lose it, so be it, and if I win, I still keep the proceeds and I put that towards everything that I owe? Because if so, I'm totally fucking in.
Well, I'm thinking of a modified version of that.
Can't blame me for trying. I agree.
I appreciate the effort there. So what I'm thinking is more along the lines of we would do like some kind of a joint venture type deal where we both have skin in the game.
We'll talk this out.
Yeah, but I think we could make it work so that, you know what? Okay. Hey, you're basically being paid for your services. So if you're coming in as a consultant and we go in, we're covering, whatever, 60% or 70% of the upfront cost, but then, we would also get something similar. I think we can work it out.
I'm going to talk about one gambling related thing on this stream that I feel very strongly about. And I feel like if we're going to talk about gambling, I would be remiss in my duties if I didn't bring this up. If you look at the Pennsylvania blackjack rules, as dictated by the Pennsylvania Gambling Control Board, they get it right because they tell the casinos, these are the rules that you're going to offer to your players because they are fair. And if you don't want to do this, then you just don't get to offer the game. Blackjack rules should be pretty well static, but they're kind of not. And in Las Vegas, you're going to run into this, and Daddy-O and Lex are going to run into this as you guys are there. In proper blackjack pays 3-2, as in if you bet $100 on a hand and you get an ace and a 10, you're getting paid $150. Some dick fuck out there decided that they could get away with trying to offer 6-5, as in if you bet that same $100 and you get a blackjack, you only get $120. This is for every one of those people that think that that's okay. That extra $30 that you're losing out on by not getting the proper payout for blackjack is not acceptable, but casinos out there think that they can get away with it. In proper casinos, if the dealer gets an ace and a 6, which is referred to as soft 17, they will stop and they are stuck on 17. In shitty casinos, they'll take another card on that to try to improve their hand. And that's when the dealer managed to pull a 4 out of their ass and make 21 that they shouldn't be allowed to do. In proper casinos, if you have any 2 opening cards, you can double down and just take 1 more card and that's it. In shitty casinos, they'll tell you, oh, you can only double down on 10 or 11. You can't double down if you have an ace and a 5 or an ace and a 6 or an ace and a 7 and the dealer's showing a shitty card. That's advantage that's being taken away from you. In proper casinos, as in Pennsylvania, if you have a really, really bad hand, you can forfeit or surrender the hand and take back half of what you bet and live to fight another day. Very few casinos do that, but the ones in Pennsylvania do it by state law. There are very few hands you want to do this on. Most of them are where you have a total of 16, but that's something that if you fight for it in Vegas with a good minimum bet in a good casino, they will let you do. But guess what? In every casino in the state of Pennsylvania, even if you're only betting $5 fucking, you can still do this. And that is part of what is proper blackjack, where the house edge is under 0.4%. This is something that I've tried to drill in everyone in the Vegas chat as to why this is important. Go ahead, Daddy-O.
No, I 100% can see where you're coming from and understand your point, but can I offer the counter argument? Just so you know, the counter argument.
Okay, go ahead.
You know how like Tetris purists hate Tetris 99 because it's like kind of dumb.
It has the hold piece and a lot.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, like it allows the less talented and less experienced players an opportunity to win because they can kind of game the system, take advantage of the attacker bonus, blah blah blah. It's not skill based, right? It's just for fun. It's a party version of Tetris, right? I'm gonna make the argument that certain casinos offer the Tetris 99 version of blackjack, and that I know it's not skill-based here, and I'm paying a penalty because I'm playing at a $1 table. And it's like, I'm okay with that because it's like, okay, I'm paying $1 here, and I'm okay giving you a little bit of a bonus because I'm just having fun.
Hold the fuck up.
Yep.
I accept this in only in the situation in which the minimum bet is $1, because if Pennsylvania can do it where the minimum bet is $5 and still offer these beneficial rules and still come out ahead, I understand it, because the difference is Pennsylvania doesn't have a bunch of casinos that comp all of their drinks, but Las Vegas does. So if you're sitting at a table with a minimum bet of $1, but you're surrendering all these good rules that you don't get there, but you also have the cocktail waitress coming around that's giving you literally free drinks that you would just only tip on, I accept that, because the value that you're giving up in not getting 3-2 on blackjack and not being able to double after a split is exceeded by the amount of value you're getting on being able to get absolutely shit-faced trashed for drinks that the casino is comping you. In Pennsylvania, that is not the case, because not all casinos and very few casinos in that matter actually will give you drinks for free, but in exchange for that, they are giving you this favorable rule set.
Right, exactly.
For that reason, I accept that some casinos in Vegas are going to offer shitty rules, but in general, those casinos should not be frequented by players that actually are betting more than $1.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, what else did we cover? What else was on that board?
I think we got it all. We got Tetris. Mario 35. We had somebody.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I can't remember who we wanted to cover Mario 35, and that'll be our last topic of the night. So go.
Last topic of the night, Mario 35. You kind of want to look at that at the same way you look at Tetris 99, and most of both of your communities are looking at Tetris 99 because that's where they learn to know you from.
Mm-hmm.
Tetris 99 is interesting in that if you come in first or you come in 10th, you're roughly getting the similar experience per hour regardless, based on, whether you come in first or not. There is not a massive bonus that comes with winning a Tetris 99 match. Team battle is the best you're gonna get, because the 700 experience bonus you get for winning, plus what you get for playing, plus what you get for people liking you, is gonna exceed per hour what you get from playing any other mode of Tetris. Mario 35 fixes this problem, because I don't know how much Mario 35 you guys have played, but I'm sure a lot of your chat has, because they followed me from here.
I just watch you play it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
In a regular game of Mario 35, you lose half of your coins when you die, but you get double your coins for playing without starting with a power-up, unless you're a fucking pussy that starts with a power-up.
I know, right? You just need to be big. It's just right there.
Under normal circumstances where you don't start with a power-up, you're losing half your coins for dying, but get double your coins when you for that. So it kind of cancels out.
Mm-hmm.
So you get whatever you earned in a game. But if you win, you get half of everyone else's coins that died that wasn't to someone else's enemies, plus all of your coins times 2, plus the bonus that you earn, plus the bonus for your rank in a lobby times 2.
Mm-hmm.
There is a massive disconnect from the first player to everyone else. Imagine if you were playing Tetris 99 and it just said, if you win a game of Tetris 99, you get 20,000 experience instead of what you normally get. You'd be really hopped up on trying to win that,
right.
Wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's how Mario.
Some people would be.
Yeah, that's how Mario 35 functions. There is a significant bonus to winning compared to any other place.
Mm-hmm.
I played Mario 35 from day one. I got really into it because I won my first ever game of Mario 35, and my Mario 35 win rate is still over 60% to this day.
Wow.
My God.
Like Tetris. My Invictus win rate is over 50%. My standard win rate is over 60%. My Mario 35 win rate is over 60%. But the thing is, it makes so much more of a difference in Mario because there's those massive bonuses that kick in. You guys know what it is to try and grind levels in Tetris 99 because that's where you've lived all these years. And in Tetris 99, after having played over a whole year, I'm still only like level 87 or 88 star. In Mario 35, before I started on this very stream that we're talking about, I'm level 75 double star or level 273. I'm gonna make level 99 double star or that game gets pulled if it gets pulled. In Tetris 99, it's gonna take me about 4 years of doing nothing but sitting and grinding team battles. If you're watching this, unblock me on Twitter, Amethyst. That's all I need to say.
Oh my God.
But unrelated to that, the thing is, I really wish Tetris 99 would put out a massive bonus for being able to win a game like Mario does.
Yeah.
I have that game.
It's much harder to win in 99 too.
I have Mario 35 figured out to the level that I have Tetris 99 figured out with 4 widened team battles. That's how strongly I feel about my skill set and what goes on in Mario 35. You do take a more massive penalty from playing against god tier players in Mario 35 than you do in Tetris 99.
Oh my God.
But
We just
Mario...
got raided.
Oh my God.
Matt! Thanks for the raid, Mets.
Mets, thank you for the raid. Hopefully you go back and watch this from the beginning when the VOD goes out, because I've spent like 2 hours talking about shit on this. And unrelated to that, kitty.
Oh, we don't have shout outs. Oh, we're such losers.
We're such losers.
Kitty.
Dang it. That's why it doesn't work. Such rookie streamers. Lex, do your thing, please. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, Raiders. Thank you, Mets. I'm sure you're all already following him, but we are about less than a month old, this little baby stream, so we don't have our shout out command yet because Daddy-O.
Smoke and smile. Jesus.
Oh my God, stop gifting subs, you nugget. But
my
yeah.
God.
Smile.
If you guys are gifting subs, gift
You
them
don't
to my
understand.
channel because I don't even have $100 from Twitch yet.
Well, because we did a thing where every gifted sub is a
You're getting
shot.
5 from this one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're getting 5 from this one, Mewtwo.
Oh God, we're gonna die here.
Y'all,
Like,
everybody,
11.
please go follow Mewtwo. He's the man of the night. Mewtwo is the man of the night.
Yes.
So along with Mets, of course, Mets, thank you so much. Thank you,
You're
thank
so
you, Mets,
sweet.
for being our dad in terms
Our
of Team
dad.
9 Lifer. That
Put
means so
the
much.
sign down.
But Mewtwo is our guest of the night, and he has spent the last 2 hours telling us all about Tetris.
Mario.
Well, Mario
Pokemon,
is recent.
Furry.
Dave and Busters, the furry community. I mean, so much, so many great things.
Okay. I'm going to put another challenge out there to Community Daddy-O.
Oh boy.
50,000 bits to your channel, of which you keep half and I get half.
And
And
Lex gets nothing. Let's keep going.
Okay, fine. Lex gets something, but we'll figure that out when we get there.
How many?
I don't care. I just want something out of
Yeah,
this.
got it.
If you get 50,000 bits that we figure out a split for later, and it doesn't have to be tonight, it can be some other night, I will talk about that time that I did a podcast in the furry community about the fetish where critters eat other critters. I will talk about how messed up that is.
Oh,
On top of the Beckett thing, on top of of how to make money at Dave and Buster's, I will talk about all of that in a separate episode. If you get 50,000 bits towards this in the future.
Mets.
Yeah,
Like-
I've left you speechless.
Lex, you want to go?
Involved in any of this. I apparently am getting a bottle of tequila, and that's all I need right now.
We should talk about a lot. We got Mets coming up as a guest. So let's talk about how great of a guest that Mewtwo was, first of all.
Oh my God, I'm sad that these Raiders missed
These
it. We've been on
Raiders,
for 2
unfortunately, Mets, thank you so much for the raid. It means the world. Not only does the raid mean a lot, the fact that you are the reason that Team 9 Life exists means a lot. So thank you for that. Thank you, of course, for the raid and everybody that's here. But we need to make sure that Mewtwo gets the love. So I'll do it one more time. Let's go ahead and do it one more time. And I love that people think that Mewtwo is the one that's wasted. That's awesome. Do I hide it that well? Interesting.
Because you've been doing it forever.
I have not. That's a false statement. That is not true. One of the few times.
Well.
But anyway, let's talk about Mewtwo. Mewtwo, you were fantastic. Let's everybody give Mewtwo all the cheers, all the likes, all the hearts, all the everything, the dogs and the cats and everything. Thank you, Mewtwo, for everything. We'll definitely. I feel like we gotta have you back, but it sounds like it's gonna cost the community to have you back. So we've gotta have some kind of a community goal to have Mewtwo back. I don't want it to cost the community money, so maybe it just costs them points or something. But we can pay Mewtwo.
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But thank you.
I'm literally just trying to get people to help me pay down my damn credit card bills because I'm stupid because I gambled over so many years. Can you blame me?
No, I can't blame you. You can figure it out. So last thing here, y'all, this is recorded. This is a show. This is Tell Me More is the name of the talk show. This is recorded live on Twitch. Right now, we're bigger on Twitch than we are anywhere else. But that's just for now. Soon, Twitch will be the small community. Hopefully, if things go according to plan. It will be where this show gets recorded live. And all of you are here for this live recording, so thank you. Thank you for being here for that. You'll be able to catch these shows live or on YouTube and everywhere you get your podcasts. A couple days, you'll be able to share this Mewtwo with your friends and family who are not on Twitch on YouTube. And then hopefully starting next week, you'll be able to subscribe on anywhere else you get a podcast, just in audio format. So thank you, Mewtwo, for episode number 5.